How you doing, everybody? My name is Christopher Brown. You're now listening to my podcast, Sports Talk with Chris, and this is episode 2, volume 2, the second installment of Wednesday Weekly Rants. You know, this is a new thing that I've started on this podcast where every week I'm going to go on social media, or look at text messages, emails, anything I can find about topics I feel like should be discussed, should be talked about. And this week, I have 3 things, and every week it's always going to be 3 topics. There might be sometimes all the same sport, different sports. Sometimes they might not even relate to sports. But this is the second installment of Wednesday Weekly Rants. I hope you enjoy it. How's everybody doing, man? It's been a long week. A very long week. The Sixers finally fired Brent Brown. Great thing. Let me say why it's a great thing. It's not a great thing that he got fired. Brent Brown was with the Sixers, when we were struggling. We had the worst team in basketball, when we were tanking, when we literally tried our best not to have talent on our team. He was still coaching, I had a lot of respect for him then. But we started getting stars. He just was not proving himself as a very good head coach. He wasn't. Now the Sixers let him go. I hope he finds a job because, like I said, I really respected him when he was coaching the worst team in basketball. But at the end of the day, that's not the Sixers no more. We have some of the most talented guys in the league. It's time that we get a head coach. It's time we get a head coach that will lead us to a championship. Now, speaking of Brent Brown, this is the first topic on Wednesday Weekly Rants. I'm on Facebook. I'm starting to get back on Facebook more. I left Facebook alone because a lot of old heads were on Facebook, and I just didn't want to deal with that. No offense to all my family members that may be listening to this. It is what it is. I didn't know how to work Facebook, but I started getting back on Facebook, and I'm in these Facebook groups. Sixers Nation, man. I don't think these guys in Sixer Nations are real Sixers fans because they keep saying it's Embiid's fault, it's Simmons' fault, it's Horford's fault, it's Harris' fault, it's Richardson's fault. It's all these players' fault on why we had a terrible season, and they're not putting any blame on the coaching staff and on management. And I'm going to speak on this. Ben Simmons. I love Ben Simmons, man. He averaged about 16, 8, and 8 this year. Didn't really improve on the offensive end, but he took off on the defensive end. In my opinion, top 4 defensive player in this league. In my opinion, it's not even my opinion, it's the truth. The best guard defender in this league. The league just, announced their Defensive Player of the Year award, and Ben Simmons was 4th. The only guard in the top 5. Only guard in the top 5. He received 32 total votes, total points. Do I think he should have deserved more? Yes. But because it's Philadelphia, because it's Ben Simmons, he's not going to get the credit that he deserves. He should get a lot of credit for the year he had on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, yes, he has to get better, okay? He has to get better. He has to be more aggressive. He's averaging about 16, like I said. He could average definitely over 20, close to 24 points if he was just more aggressive. By aggressive, I mean instead of trying to lay the ball up, be like Giannis. When Giannis gets in the paint, he tries to dunk everything and tries to dunk on everybody. Not saying Ben Simmons is, totally built like Giannis, but Ben Simmons is about 6'10", at least 235, 240, and he has the athleticism to try and dunk on everybody. He can dunk on everybody. Ben Simmons is very athletic. So I'm tired of him getting into the paint, laying the ball up. I want to see him dunk on people. By him going to the paint with that mindset, I'm going to finish everything. He's going to get fouled more. He's going to get to the line more. I know he's not a great free throw shooter, but if he can get to the line 11, 12 times, not even that. If he can get to the line 8, 9 times and make 5, plus when you're in the paint, dunk the ball, you're not going to be missing them herky-jerky layups you're trying to do, the fading away in the paint layups you're trying to do, trying to be jelly fam all the time. No, you need to be dunk fam, bro. You need to be dunk fam. You need to dunk on everybody. Him doing that is going to take his offensive game to the next level. He doesn't have to shoot, but shooting will benefit, him and the team. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have to shoot to be great. He's already great right now, and he's not shooting. If he was more aggressive in the paint, dunking everything, people wouldn't be worrying about his shooting at all. If he doesn't want to shoot, he just has to be more aggressive. But, you know, even with him not totally improving on the offensive end, scoring-wise, when it comes to assists, you know, he was top 5. He averaged 8 assists. Should have averaged 12, 13. Ben Simmons, you know, is a hell of a passer. And this is going on to the management now. Ben Simmons created the most three-pointers in the league with a team that has no shooters. Let me say that again. Let me reiterate that. Ben Simmons created the most threes in the league. The most threes with a team that has no shooters. That's on management. You feel me? That's on management. You got a guy that breaks down the defense, that gets everybody open shots, but you don't surround him with guys that can hit shots. How is that going to help the team? How? How is that going to help the team? You're getting players that can't shoot. On the management, man. Y'all signed another center to $109 million. Elton Brand, how did you think that was going to work? This is not 1990, you know? This is not 1995. That's not the 1980s. Spacing is key in this game now. And if you're not going to have spacing, if you're going to have two dominant bigs, you got to coach them, put them in better situations to succeed. But even that is just not going to work. I mean, it could have worked, yeah. But like I said, they weren't in the best possible situations, the best places to be on the court when we had Al Horford and Embiid on the court at the same time. It was like they were standing next to each other. That's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. You gave that man $109 million. He committed highway robbery. I'm not even mad at him. I would have accepted that contract if I saw it. I'm like, oh, y'all going to offer me this? It's not going to work, but hey, I'll take the money. You feel me? That's what he did. Because he did not work this season. And he makes too much money to come off the bench. So he has to go. Y'all want to blame the players. Yeah, Al Horford, you know, he's played terrible. But is it really his fault? He should get some blame, yes. But is it really his fault? The Sixers made him play a way, you know, he hasn't played his entire career. They had him at the power forward, trying to be a stretch big. Like, in my opinion, Al Horford is a point center. When he was at Atlanta, when he was with Boston, he was a guy that can help initiate the offense. He was a guy that can do a lot of good things on the basketball court. Can defend, can rebound, can score at times, can pass. But at the power forward position, with another dominant big next to him, all that stuff just goes away, man. So I blame management for the poor season he had. Then I blame coaching then I blame the coaching for not seeing how it didn't work and immediately put him on the bench. Or immediately telling management, yo, this is not going to work. We have to get rid of him. We have to get rid of him. Like, that's coaching and that's management's fault. Y'all want to blame the players, but at the end of the day, the coaches put the players in the position to succeed. The management get the players for the coaches to put in places to succeed. We didn't have the right roster this year. We didn't. Like, management, coaching. How do you let Trey Burke go and keep Raul Neto? I can do more for the Sixers than Raul Neto. He does nothing. I don't care how he went off. He had 10 points what game. That don't mean nothing to me. Nothing. You keep Raul Neto and you get rid of Trey Burke. Trey Burke is more dynamic scorer. I'd rather have Trey Burke coming off the bench, initiating the offense. I know I can count on him to score. I know he's a better defender. He marks every single checkbox when you're comparing him to Raul Neto. Yet, we kept Raul Neto and got rid of Trey Burke, and he's flourishing right now with the Mavericks. And I wish him the best of luck. Flourishing right now with the Mavericks. Stop blaming the players. We got rid of Brent Brown. That was step one, my Sixers fans. Now we have to question management. Elton Brand's on the hot seat right now. He has to make some off-season moves. Al Horford has to go. Al Horford has to go. You know, we need to get another shooter in that starting lineup. Shake has to come off the bench. Actually, no. Shake actually played well in the playoffs. So I'm not going to blame him right there. If you want to start Shake, so you'll have Shake, Richardson, Simmons, Harris, and Embiid. When you trade out Horford, you got to get a good shooter, good scorer off the bench. If you can get Buddy Hield, try to get Buddy Hield, But stop blaming the players for the lackluster season we had. Yeah, some of the players, didn't live up to expectations. Josh Richardson, during the regular season, he was a big question mark. But in the playoffs, to me, he played great. And I like how he played in the playoffs. Embiid didn't get the same amount of touches, That has to do with Al Horford being there. So when he's gone, he can go back to the best center in the league. Ben Simmons, yeah, he has to fix some things. But at the end of the day, like I said, he created the most threes in the league with a team with no shooters. Surround him by shooters, he'll be even better. Come on now. Stop blaming the players. We got rid of Brent Brown. Like I said, that's step one. That's step one. If we get a new head coach, the roster gets changed up, and we still have a bad season next year, then you can start putting some of the blame on the players. But cannot blame the young stars. You cannot trade the two young stars before you get rid of the head coach. That's all I'm saying. The next thing I want to discuss that I saw on Twitter, it said, Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Aaron Rodgers is put in the same situation Brett Favre was in when Aaron Rodgers got drafted. Aaron Rodgers will not be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers in the next 2 years. Now listen, Aaron Rodgers is talent-wise, top 5 quarterback in this league. When I did my top 10 quarterbacks, the reason why I had him so low, top 10 quarterbacks, it wasn't a talent list. It was a top 10 quarterbacks on who's going to have the best season. He was so low because he doesn't have the same amount of weapons that these other quarterbacks have. Now in 2019, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on a 95 QBR. 2018, 4,442 yards, 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2017, he got hurt, but 2016, 4,426 yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, I could keep going and keep talking about how great he is, how accurate it is, how he can make every single throw on the field, how he doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, I can keep going. The difference between him and Brett Favre is, I love Brett Favre. Brett Favre was a gunslinger. Brett Favre was a gunslinger. He would throw anything on that football field. Anything. The difference between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers is that Aaron Rodgers has been playing well his whole entire career with the Packers. Not saying Brett Favre hasn't. Brett Favre last season, yes, he won 13-3. But he also threw 15 touchdowns. 15 touchdowns. No, I'm sorry, 15 interceptions and 28 touchdowns. Brett Favre has averaged at least 12 interceptions his entire career. The year before the 15, he had 18. The year before that, 29. It's around the time Aaron Rodgers got drafted. The man threw 29 interceptions. The year before that, 17. The year before that, 21, 16, 15. You understand what I'm saying? The year the man threw 29 interceptions, they were like, okay, it's time to get another quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has not had that type season yet. So why are you so eager to say, this is for the Packers, why are you so eager to say we need to get a new quarterback? Like he's washed up, like he's had a bad season. No, he has not. Y'all have not provided that man with the offensive skill, with the offensive talent that he needs to flourish in this NFL, where it's turned into a passing offense, where it's turned into a high-powered offense. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You have a great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. They surrounded that man with weapons at the tight end position, the running back position, all type of speed on the outside. Sammy Watkins, who I feel like is their best receiver, whereas he's just not all speed, Tyreek Hill has turned into a better receiver, but I just like Sammy Watkins. But my point being is that they have weapons on that Kansas City Chiefs team. You look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can make damn near the same throws Patrick Mahomes make. Before Patrick Mahomes really came into this league, Aaron Rodgers was the most talented quarterback ever. Ever. I'm not talking about who had the best career. I'm not talking about, who has the most rings. I'm talking about talent at the quarterback position. He was one of the most, he was the most talented quarterback I ever saw in this league. Has ever played in this league. Not even I ever saw. Way more talented than guys that have played in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. He had the most talent. He could make every single throw. He was mobile. He could throw and run. He was accurate. I mean, it's all in the stats if you think I'm lying. Then you look at Patrick Mahomes. Can do, what Aaron Rodgers was doing when Aaron Rodgers was healthy, but just a little better, and he has more weapons. If you put Aaron Rodgers on that Kansas City Chiefs team, there would be no difference. Aaron Rodgers would be doing the same thing you see Pat Mahomes doing. So what is that telling me? If only he had weapons. So don't call that man, overrated, his career is done. No, he has no weapons. He has literally one receiver, right? And then the best two weapons on his offense are running backs. So stop blaming on Aaron Rodgers. I hope from a fan's perspective, I love football. I love watching football. So from a fan of football perspective, I hope Aaron Rodgers finds his way into a team that has a ton of weapons. Not saying that Drew Lock is bad, and I don't see it happening because I see them staying with Drew Lock. But just imagine Aaron Rodgers right now on that Denver Broncos team. I'm trying to tell y'all, they would give the Kansas City Chiefs team a run for their money. A run for their money. I mean, look at that team. They have a great defense. They got young studs on the offensive end. Their offensive line might not be as good as the Packers' offensive line, but they got the same quality running backs. You could argue better. And they have better wide receivers and a better tight end. Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver of that group. But you taking the whole group, the Broncos group versus the Packers group, I'm taking the Broncos. If Aaron Rodgers was on that team, they would be a Super Bowl contender. No doubt in my mind. Everybody would know that. There's too much talent on that team. Drew Lock is young. He's not trash. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers is better. So please don't say Aaron Rodgers is overrated. His career is over. He's not the same. He's the same. He just has no weapons. So I hope he can find a way to get out of Green Bay, or I hope Green Bay can surround him with weapons because they're doing that man's career a disjustice. Honestly. He had his prime, from as soon as, He had his prime where as soon as Brett Favre was done, which was 3 seasons, he had to sit behind Brett Favre. He got right in the lineup and was producing. But man, don't ruin his career at the back end of his career where he can still play, where quarterbacks nowadays, because the league is so soft and they're so protected, can play to, in their 40s. Don't waste his career, man. Don't do that. Let the man go if you're going to treat him like this, Green Bay. But for the people out there saying Aaron Rodgers is overrated, not the same, do your homework. Yes, I said he's not going to have a great season, but if you talk about talent-wise, he's going right back up to the top of that list. And that's that. The last thing I'm going to discuss on Wednesday weekly rants for this week is the utilization of time, especially for athletes. If you're not, if your sport has been pushed back to the spring, and you're at home, or even if you're at, even if you're at your campus, if you're on campus, don't waste this extra time we've been given to work. For people that usually have sports in the winter or the spring, don't just say, oh, I got extra time to chill. No, because technically, this is your time that you would have spent training. If you didn't spend time training in the summer, which I know a lot of people probably didn't because of Corona, because of COVID, other reasons. I know there's a lot of people that didn't train throughout the summer. Well, you have time now, extra time to put work in. So don't waste this time. Don't waste it, because for me, I'm supposed to be going back on campus. What's today? August 26th. I'm supposed to be going back on campus, I think, around January. And if I'm not mistaken, my indoor season was supposed to start, mid to end January. So that's, which is 5, I don't even know how many days are in August. But August is coming to the end. So I got all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December. That's 4 months, and a little bit of January. That's a little bit of time. But I'm already in the gym, 2 days. I'm on my bike. I'm on my treadmill. I'm using my dumbbells, my kettlebell. I'm jumping rope. Because I know I've been given extra time to become even better at my craft. If you want to succeed in this time, right now, you got to put the extra work in. You got to put work in. The players that are going to win, the teams that are going to win, are going to be the ones that have been most disciplined during this time. You see the professional athletes, most of them, not all, most of them put that work in. And right now I'm talking about, NBA, but NFL included too, because they're about to start up. MLB, soccer, all these professional sports, most of the guys have put the work in during the COVID quarantine time. So now, because they know their season's about to start up, it's not like they have to hit a complete restart. Yeah, you're not in game shape, game speed, but, you're not all the way back at 0. You feel me? So for the people that's not in a sport right now, put the work in. Because I'm telling you, you will succeed by being disciplined. When your season start back up, there's going to be people that did not put no work in or waited till a month before the season to put some work in, and they're going to be far behind. And there's no time to be far behind because we literally, for me, I'm supposed to be starting. Hopefully everything goes the way it's planned. We're supposed to be starting in mid to end January, if I'm not mistaken. But if I am mistaken, I'm still going to use this example. We're supposed to be starting in mid to end January, right? So say people get back on campus the beginning of January. That's only a couple weeks to get ready for a meet. Whether you're running, throwing, jumping, that's not a lot of time if you weren't putting the work in. Because not only do you have to train in your specific event, but you have to be in shape. Whether that's your endurance, your strength, your speed, agility, all that stuff. If you weren't working on that right now, then you're far behind to the point where you might not even be able to compete because you're not going to do good. You're going to be terrible. I'm just being honest. That's why, it's important right now. Even if you put the work in the summer, don't let up because now you got time to become even better. And if you didn't put no work in the summer, you still got time to become even better. And I'm just using, my timetable as an example. I have 4 months until I'm supposed to be on campus if everything goes right. Till my season's supposed to start if everything goes right. Just using my timetable. 4 months, that's still a lot of time. Still a lot of time. But say your thing's not supposed to start till February, March. That's even more time you have till now until then. Take these extra months to get in shape, to get stronger, to get faster. It's a blessing in disguise, man. Yes, we all wanted to be on campus. We did. We did. But if you didn't, put that work in the summer that you go to campus and you're working out and you realize you're all the way at ground zero, you're going to be put at ground zero. So for the people that didn't put the work in the summer, you've been blessed with extra time. For the people that did put the work in the summer, you still have been blessed with extra time to get better at your craft. My point being is that use your time wisely. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. That was just from an athlete's perspective. But in life in general, time is undefeated. Time waits on no man and no woman. Use your time wisely. You got a project that you're supposed to be doing. Don't wait till last minute. If you got homework you're supposed to be doing, don't wait till last minute. If you got to do job applications, your resume, home stuff, anything in life, do not procrastinate because time waits for nobody. It does not. Time is undefeated. Don't think you're better than time. What's the point of waiting? So say you got a project due Sunday. What's the point of waiting until Sunday morning to start the project where you could have did a little bit each day throughout the week? And you could have been done either throughout the week or Sunday. All you had to do was review it. There's no point of stressing yourself out. and I'm going to relay it back to sports. There's no point of waiting until December. For me, like I'm talking about my timetable. If I'm supposed to go back in January, there's no point of people waiting until December or, that first day of January or whatever to start working out. Why would you try to do that? That's not going to work. Your body's going to be hurt. You're going to be hurt, and you're not going to be in a shape. You're not going to be as strong, as fast as you would have been if you would just start putting the work in right now. So use your time wisely. Whether that's sports, whether that's life, whether that's school, whether that's work, anything. That's my message, man. Time waits on nobody. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely, man. That's a wrap for this episode, for this week's installment of Wednesday Weekly Rants. Let me know how you feel on the topics I discussed, man. The Sixers, how they should stop blaming the players, for fans, how they should stop blaming the players and looking at the head coaching and management. The thing with Aaron Rodgers, people calling him overrated. I don't think so. I can throw more stats out there if you need to, but I'm tired of people disrespecting one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And then time, man. Time waits on nobody. No man, no woman. No child, no elder. So make sure you're using your time correctly. If you have, any topics you feel like should be discussed on Wednesday Weekly Rants, reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at sportsw_Chris. sportsw_Chris. Thank you all for listening, and stay tuned for future episodes.